Good evening once again. I apologize for the late start of the show. We had to fix some technical issues. But coming up on Business Live tonight, Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies calls for legal processes to be fast-tracked to enable locked-up funds of depositors with collapsed institutions to be released. Also, Ministry of Food and Agriculture developing a marketing plan for farm produce to manage bumper harvest. All right, apologies once again. We want to begin with our summaries. Ghana has earned $123 million in 9 months of 2019 from wood export, and we'll tell you how much Boeing's fired CEO is walking away with.
Ghana exported a total volume of 216,631 cubic meters of wood product, accruing some $123 million as at the end of September 2019, the Forestry Commission of Ghana has stated. Chief Executive Officer of the Forestry Commission, Kwejo Wuswe-Friye, who briefed the board and staff of the commission at the end of the year meeting, indicated that the Asia Far East market recorded 73% of Ghana's export and emerged the largest market, with leading species trading in these markets including teak, wawa, Potrodom and Senya. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investments Promotion Center, GIPC, Yofi Grant, is demanding the enforcement or revision of the GIPC law which bars foreigners from engaging in retail trade in Ghana. According to him, this will resolve the unending retail feud between Ghanaian and Nigerian traders, which has resulted in the closure of Nigerian shops in the past few years.
The year 2019 will be remembered as a year of great financial sector reforms, from the banks to microfinance, fund management firms. Various financial services regulators undertook a number of actions to ensure the greater good and financial stability. The savings and loans companies did not go untouched. Here's Executive Secretary of the Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies, Chinubua Kodja-Boache, as we look back at what has been an eventful year for the financial sector.
As it stands now, the SDI, the savings and loans companies only, the 25, have been serving about 6 million customers.
Okay.
And we continue to give credits, and we will continue this approach going into the future. They should continue to count on their respective savings and loans companies. When they see anything as a customer, we need to report. The second one is we want to say thank you to the central bank for the cooperation so far. It's been beneficial, and they've been involving us in certain policies. We want to see more of this collaboration going into the future. To the government, we want to encourage the government that yes, you make sure that the customers of the SDI sector did not go empty-handed. You decided to give the receivers some money to pay their customers. Thank you, but that is not enough. Those who are in court, like the GN customers, First Allied customers, UniCredit customers, because of the court issues, they are not getting their monies. Let's look at how we can speed up the processes, the judiciary, the legal process. Look at how we can speed up the process to clear that one, so that the GN customers, the First Allied customers, the UniCredit customers can get their monies. We want to encourage everybody that yes, it got bent, but it didn't get broken. We can fix it, and we know the future is far better than what we see now.
Well, some fund managers are still in a fix following the cleanup in the financial sector, whilst customers are also yet to regain confidence in the sector. That's according to Chief Executive Officer of Eco Capital Investment Limited, Delagbo, who says they are in talks with customers to rebuild confidence.
With everything going on, some clients have reservations, they are concerned, but despite that, we are still talking to them to encourage them that it's still good to invest. Investing or refusing to invest by itself is also a risk, so it's always good to take advantage and still invest. Bank of Ghana managing or regulating these banks, it therefore means that they are indeed regulating them well for us to also know that when we look at the figures, facts and figures, and invest, our clients' funds are safe.
We'll still stay with the financial sector on a different issue, though. The Union of Industry, Commerce and Finance Workers, UNICOF, has told Joy Business it is ready to engage the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, on the decision to tax clothing allowance of bank staff. General Secretary of UNICOF, John Senano-Megashi, threatens they will go as far as the courts if GRA refuses to listen to them.
Law-abiding citizens and law-abiding union, we respect every law of this country, but the right thing must be done. You have ruled that we should not pay taxes on the clothing allowance. If for any reasons that you want us to pay, there's a need for us to engage. You cannot bypass acts, find a lean way of engaging the banking association. They don't pay. It is the employers that pay. And these are negotiable items. We have them in our collective agreement. So unilaterally, employers cannot decide to deduct taxes from our clothing allowances without engaging acts. So we want to engage the Bankers Association, we want to engage the GRA on this matter and have it resolved.
Where are you prepared to go with this issue? I mean, if the GRA decides that they become very adamant and says, look, we will
escalate it to any highest level that we can have this matter heard properly.
And when you say any other highest place, where? Court?
We are ready.
Or go to Parliament and then talk to the Select Committee on Finance?
That is why I said we are ever ready to escalate this matter to any highest level that we feel deemed important. Other than that, we will advise ourselves as to what to do. The GRA had given tax relief to Abosokai spare part dealers. And because they realized that the banks are highly tax compliant in every respect, we received this letter not even addressed to us.
Yes, to the Bankers Association.
To the Bankers Association.
Executive Secretary.
And we expect that the Bankers Association will engage us. Other than that, we would engage them. If they fail to engage us, we would engage them.
How long are you prepared to wait?
We are writing to them today. If they are ready, we can even meet them this morning, because this matter is very, very crucial and very, very important to us as a union and as employees in these banks.
Any idea the percentage they are hoping to tax of the clothing allowance? I mean,
it's 25%.
25%?
25%, a quarter of the allowance.
I see.
And you are expected to put on shoes, you are expected to put on better, you are expected to go to laundry. So if they take 25% out of it, they have taken everything.
Would you not then go to the various banks, the employers, and then tell them that, oh, why don't you up the money so that the value will still be the same?
No, it cannot be the same. It cannot be the same. The higher you earn, the more tax you pay. You understand? And the clothing allowance, it's not the allowance that the banks pay. They have other things to do. They have other cost centers. So if they should increase the allowances for the clothing.
All right, let's turn to other news. At this time from the agri sector, and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture says it is engaging foreign investors to tackle the issue of marketing of farm produce as the country experiences bumper harvest. This comes as farmers complain of a lack of market after experiencing high yields under the Planting for Food and Jobs initiative. Speaking to Joy Business, the minister said marketing the farm produce is crucial for the growth of the agri sector as the ministry targets a 10% growth.
According to the Minister for Food and Agriculture, over 1 million farmers have been registered under the Planting for Food and Jobs initiative, resulting in a bumper harvest of food all across the country. However, farmers have been lamenting about high post-harvest losses due to a lack of storage and marketing for the produce. But speaking to Joy Business, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Efriakutu, said plans are far advanced to address the issue of marketing.
The target is to reach 10% per annum rate of growth in agriculture. 10% in the next 3 years, we should hit that. So Ghanaians should be expecting more and more harvest, higher and higher growth. The challenge at the moment is marketing, but that we are making arrangements to get private sector involved because it requires a lot of capital, working capital, which the government of Ghana doesn't have. So we are engaging foreign and local investors to come into agricultural marketing to take advantage of the growth on farm to make sure that they can make money for themselves, and through that ensure that the crop that the Ghanaian farmer produces will be marketed, will be traded, processed and exported and marketed domestically and externally.
The minister also adds machinery is being imported to support the processing of rice.
The aggregate processing capacity for milling our rice is so small that they have to use all sorts of traditional methods. We are bringing in loads and loads of processing machinery for village level milling. Excellent. I mean, I've just been to Brazil 2 months ago. We're going to order thousands of them, distribute them in the area so that when the paddy is harvested, the machines will there for the farmers themselves to add value by milling before they sell it on.
This, he said, is to help add value to the rice produced by farmers. For Joy Business, Sheila Tamaklo report.
Now, the Chamber of Mines believes that the use of technology to mine bauxite in the Tiwa forest could minimize the likely negative impact on the forest reserve. Government this year signed a deal to allow Sino-Hydro of China to mine bauxite from the Tiwa forest in exchange for a $2 billion loan, a deal that has been criticized by some civil society organizations. Now, Chief Executive of the Chamber of Mines, Suleiman Okone, has told Joy Business the move is welcome if the mining company will deploy the best technology to reduce negative environmental impact.
We sit aloof and assume that, look, everybody would come here, then naturally we'll be overtaken. What we need to do is to expand the horizons, ensure that investors are aware of the conducive environments in Ghana, with the right expertise to be able to really work, harmoniously with various stakeholders, particularly policymakers, to ensure that they have that certainty, because certainty is the critical thing. Predictability of the investment regime is the critical thing. So it's important that even as we engage, as we want to reposition ourselves, as we say, as the hub of mining investment in West Africa, we should have an eye on the predictability and the certainty within the jurisdiction. I think the reality about the mining industry is about technology. It's about best practices. Are there technologies which would help us to mine our God-given resources in a manner that will not affect the environment and communities? If that technology is there, if it can be proven, then naturally this is something we'll actually go for. So for us, it's not blanket mine or not mine. What are the circumstances around the technology which is going to be deployed, and how successful will it be? What will be the impacts on the environment as well as the communities downstream? So for us, that is the issue. So we don't have a yes or no answer. It depends upon how this has to be done and whether those best practices are actually deployed. Thank you.
Also in the news tonight, the National Youth Authority is charging Ghanaian entrepreneurs to look out for innovative ways that will help create employment opportunities. Speaking to Joy Business, Deputy Chief Executive of the authority, Nelson Owusu-Ansah, said the authority has begun moves to support entrepreneurs.
There is a call to duty from our office, National Youth Authority, to the Ghanaian youth, that we know the one language they understand is the language of jobs. The way to get job is to create your own job. You cannot aspire to be a billionaire, a millionaire without creating your own wealth. The way to go is to create your own wealth. Many of the billionaires we have in the world never were even graduates, neither were they PhD holders. They just saw an opportunity. They never looked down upon those opportunities. They took those ideas and decided to turn the world around. So the lives of the Microsoft founder, the lives of the founder of iPhone, and then all over the world, what they are doing is to changing the world to make sure that they create their own livelihood as well as the livelihood for others. So if you want to be a youth that is changing the world, do not go out there holding application letters looking for job. Just decide that the little idea you have, you want to create some good money for yourself through the idea.
All right, some good move there. Ending business live tonight. There's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. There you go. We have all the business stories for you to catch up on, including the Takoradi Port traffic going by 21%. You want to read more on that and some news on aviation as well. My name is Darryl Kwao. We'll be back same time tomorrow.